Hey everyone, it's the Grumpy Meeple, and this is a very exciting day. I'm very excited. I'm kind of freaking out a little bit, to be honest, because today the companion app for the HeroQuest board game system came out, and I have been waiting to play this game solo for decades, basically. I know there are fan versions out there, solo play and whatnot, but I really wanted an official version that was going to make it relatively easy to run solo or cooperatively. And Hasbro Avalon Hill has just put out this app that gives you just that. So this is going to be a whole series of videos. I'm going to start with this one talking about the Hasbro relaunch of HeroQuest, the campaign that ran on Hasbro Pulse last year, and kind of why I didn't back it, why I kind of wish I had, at least right up until this app came out and I realized that all this stuff is 100% compatible with my version of HeroQuest, which is basically a mint condition copy of the original. Other than the box being a little banged up and a little dusty. This was one of my board game holy grails. I tracked this down 4 or 5 years ago. And it is probably in about as good a condition as anybody's 40-year-old version of this game is going to be. This is identical to the game that I bought, that I had when I was 10 years old. So a little bit of history on me and HeroQuest. This was my first kind of dungeon crawl game. I played it with my brother and my father back when I was a little kid in the early 90s. Loved it to death. And then, just like everything else, it kind of went away. We lost our copy. I don't know. We threw it away during a move or something. We were always moving. My dad was in the military. So I lost this along with other beloved treasures like my Millennium Falcon toy and our B-Wing and HeroQuest and my Nintendo Entertainment System. So when I started getting back into board gaming, this was one of the first things that I wanted to do, was put this set back together, basically. And after searching for a couple years, didn't really want to pay insane eBay scalper prices. I was fine with paying for it, but not for a half-ass version with a busted-up box or cards that were bent up or miniatures that were broken. I really wanted a kind of a perfect version of it. And I finally found it for not only the core game, but the 2 expansions that came out as well. So I've got everything custom organized here as I do all of my games, although I haven't touched this in years, basically, because I tracked it down. And then I remembered, I don't really play one versus many dungeon crawlers. I don't really have anybody to be a DM. I don't have any interest in ever DMing. So I was thinking I would play with my son someday, my son and my daughter, and just suffer through being the DM. And then the re-release campaign started last year, around this time, I think. And I was super interested in it initially, obviously, because, again, I love HeroQuest, and I assumed that they would make some substantive changes to the rules or introduce a solo and a cooperative mode, so forth and so on. And so I was super interested, and I was following the campaign on Hasbro Pulse, even though I don't want to back something on Hasbro Pulse. I already have a Kickstarter account. I have a GameFound account. I don't want to get emails about new Transformers from Hasbro necessarily, but I was following it and I was interested, and over time during the campaign, it just wasn't rubbing me the right way. I wasn't impressed at all with the art. This art is leagues beyond what they are doing in the new version. It's all just kind of crudded up, a little more cartoony versions of this incredible box art. So the art didn't strike me as particularly interesting, and I knew damn well that the miniatures were going to be trash, because this is a game that's being produced by Hasbro, by Avalon Hill. These are the guys who make Betrayal at House on the Haunted Hill, which probably has the worst miniatures I've ever seen in my life. I'm thinking about the Legacy version. And so you just knew that miniatures are going to be shit, the art's going to be crap. And the thing that really killed it for me was that it was the exact same game system. Everything is identical. It was the core box with every single card represented, basically, except for a few really annoying changes that they had to make for licensing reasons, because this was originally a collaboration with Games Workshop, and Game Workshop owns Chaos. They own Famirs, a couple of the monster names and such. And so they had to rename them all, which that's not a huge problem, but it just was too many compromises, and it was all the exact same content. Now, there was content in the stretch goals. There were unlocks. There were new quest books that were getting unlocked, but it was all extremely vague as to how much content was actually there. There was just no detail on any of the stretch goals other than, here's 2 more miniatures that look exactly the same as the other miniatures that you have and function exactly the same. They're just different, maybe slightly tweaked mummy sculpts or whatever. They did unlock a couple of hero classes. I was interested in that, but not enough to back the game ultimately, because everything else was just leaving a bad taste in my mouth, and all hinging on the fact that it was just all identical to the core game that's 30 years old, which wouldn't be a problem for me if I didn't already have the core game, but I couldn't talk myself into buying an inferior version of a game I already own, basically is what it came down to. And then, like 3 months after the campaign ended, they announced, oh, by the way, there's going to be a companion app, and you're going to be able to play it solo and competitively, or solo and cooperatively. And immediately, I fly into a rage. Why the hell didn't they mention this during the campaign? It would have sold me on the game, because I wouldn't have been comfortable maybe with... I wouldn't have been sure that my version of the game was going to be so similar that you would be able to use the app to play this 30-year-old version. And so I would have bought it for sure instantly if I had heard that this app was coming out, because it makes it a lot easier to get it to the table with my kid. We can have fun with it together instead of having to compete, and it lets me play it by myself, which I do that a lot, because I'm a sad older guy who doesn't always have friends around to play these giant dungeon crawls. So cut to, a month ago, people's copies start showing up. I start having serious regret about not backing it. And then this morning, 2 things happened, basically. They announced the release of a new hero class pack, which is available now. It's exclusively, to my understanding, on GameStop.com. GameStop, the guys who used to sell video games before selling physical video games became an absurd business model. You might also know them from their hilarious meme stocks. Apparently they have some kind of exclusive distribution right to some parts of the new HeroQuest relaunch, and one of them is this new character class called the Knight. And it comes with 2 miniatures, a couple cards. It's $15. So I was interested in picking that up, which I did. I pre-ordered it. You can still probably get it right now if you hurry to GameStop.com. They'll ship it to you. You don't have to actually go into that sad store. And then this app came out just like, as far as I know, like an hour ago. And I'm just so excited. I'm finally going to get to play this beautiful copy of HeroQuest that I got. I'm hoping the board is still holding up in here. That's the only thing I'm not sure about. I am going to be ordering a playmat from Alibaba Express or whatever. I don't know. There's you can get a mat like this, for with the HeroQuest board printed on it. I'm also still working on my Dungeons and Lasers terrain. Someday I will have enough of that so that I can actually build this dungeon just using that Dungeons and Lasers terrain. And so that'll be exciting. But basically, what we're going to be seeing on this channel going forward is a crap ton of HeroQuest gameplay content. I have the game, the first 2 expansions. The only thing that's out currently on the app is the core game missions, and this app is surprisingly slick. I'm gonna be real honest with you. First of all, you can hear it's got background music, which is pretty dope. If they had put like this much effort into the re-release of the game as they did into this app, I would have backed it, no question. You've got some settings, you've got a tutorial that'll walk you through how to play how to play the game. Let's take a look at how that looks. Tap to add a hero, selecting a hero. Oh, okay. Tap to remove a hero. View alternate card designs, flip card. So it's walking you through how to play the game and how to use the app as well. Hold and drag the hero icon, very cool. And then, you know, if you start your party, you'll see within the app, sorry for the glare here, they've got the core game, Keller's Keep and Return of the Witch King are pending, Return of the Witch Lord. But if you go into the game, and if your iPad recognizes your touch, okay, let's go. There we go. You can go right in. It's narrated. This is super slick. Like, I'm super excited about this. And the key is that it's going to build out the dungeon for you and randomize it's going to build the quest out for you. So that's how you play it by yourself. And it's just telling you, place your pieces, take your turns. Here's what your quest is. No traps or secret doors in the first mission. Fearsome foes await you. And then you like move your guy to indicate where you're at. Tells you there's a door. Do you want to open it? And then it renders the rest of the screen. Incredibly cool. I'm ultra excited about this. It's just so Until we meet again. Yeah, thanks. Take care, my friends. It's just surprising that this app is so incredibly slick. You know, the game itself, if I see it, if it's reasonably priced, I probably will still pick it up just so that I have another copy, or at the very least so that I can keep some of this other stuff pristine, because it really is pretty much in perfect condition, and it's a very old game and rare to find one in such good condition. But the app just rocketed to the top of my like absolutely invaluable. I would have paid $20 just for this app, no questions asked, especially if they had demoed it. But Hasbro, you know, they just suck at marketing. The way that they ran that campaign was garbage. A lot of people didn't even know that it was out there, and so missed it and now can't get it. And eBay prices are just insane. Don't pay them. All this crap will get put out. I mean, it's Hasbro. There's nothing there that's going to be exclusive for long, or that they won't replace with some other sculpt. And like I said, they're already putting content out that wasn't even in that Kickstarter, like this new Knight hero pack. So, but I am super excited. There are going to be a number of videos coming where I'm just going to dive right into this bad boy. I'll probably do a video where I just show off my copy so that you can see the quality that it's in, and hope you like HeroQuest, because there's going to be some HeroQuest coming. So that's all that I have for now. Thank you for joining me, and I will talk to you later.